I had clicked on the live so I could talk to you guys on my way here. And when I went live, I forgot to click out of that. So I was hearing myself in the background, and that would have drove me crazy, man. That would have drove me crazy. Um, Hello, guys. Welcome to Javante the Reporter's channel on YouTube. Um, we are in a very, very bad time. I'm pretty sure you guys have heard the news today. I'm pretty sure you guys, well, some of you guys probably have not, but um, I hope you guys are ready for what's to come. I hope you guys are getting prepared, and I hope you guys are listening to our messages. And I'm going to start off like that as I tell you now the bad news and explain it into a better detail than I did on TikTok. So, what is going on with the Pentagon right now? So, um, y'all know how they keep saying that they're not changing their nuclear posture. They're not preparing for anything. They don't think Russia's going to do anything. They were saying that at first. Now, it's a whole different ball game. Now, Russia and China is at the top of their nuclear list. And I'm like, oh no, 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 no. So first of all, I gotta look up some articles with you guys since I just got in here. Um, the Pentagon has a policy that was documented today that they do not have to be attacked by nuclear weapons to use their nuclear arsenal. Why is this bad? Because now we have the two top countries that's ready to go to war with each other, that's about to go to war with each other. Let me rephrase that. They're about to go to war with each other. And that means that Russia and the United States, if they go to war, now it has no choice but to turn nuclear. I already said that before, but now y'all got a guarantee. The reason before it could have like been one sided because the United States could have launched a preemptive strike or Russia could have. We still would have been fucked because Russia has the doomsday, and then they still would have been fucked because boom, they would have been hit. No, don't do drugs. Definitely do not do drugs. Second of all, the North Korea is part of this and China. So why is China the big deal? Because they're looking at China as a strategic target for our military. For our military. They're saying China can hit us with hypersonics. They're saying Russia can hit us with hypersonics. They're saying that they can attack our territory. They're telling you this out of their own documents from the Pentagon and the Department of Defense. They're telling you that they can hit us. So once they finally told you, hey guys, yeah, Russia and China can hit us. Now, you guys want to uh, take this serious. Sorry, somebody's sending me something on Instagram. They said they just launched something from California or something. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm trying to go find out what it was. I guess, yeah, someone just messaged me that they launched something in California. They just sent me two pictures. I don't even know if I can get into my Instagram on here. I think the United States will hit first. They probably could. They probably could. I got a picture from Arizona. Oh, Lord. Okay. Anyways, let me get to the point. So these guys are getting ready to fight, guys. Russia and China will be at war with the United States. There's no doubt in my mind that these guys are about to fight. Why? Because why would we change our nuclear arsenal for threats that could hit us at home, and then we admit that Russia and China could hit us here at home? And then why are we deploying the 101st Division on the border with Ukraine? They're saying that they're ready to go in at any time and be ready to fight by the night, or at the day that they said that night. So why is the Serbian president putting out the warning for November? Well, he said 1 to 2 months, and that was in September, I believe. It was either September or or August, but I believe it was in the beginning of September. He said within 2 months the world would be at conflict. The United States would be at war with Russia and China. 2 months would have been November, midterms. First thing that I thought of. Why are they saying they're going to hack our election? So I know when they were deployed. I know when they were deployed because I reported on when they got deployed there. I was like, this is a big deal. This is a big deal. Hey, Off Grid, how you doing today, man? I hope you guys are feeling good today. So we have them all 3 miles from the border. Now I have a feeling, I have a really deep feeling in my mind that these guys are already going in and out of Ukraine. Why? Because even in the CBS review of it, they was like, "Oh yeah, we just passed the city right behind us. That's the Ukrainian city. Y'all passed the city, okay? So y'all that close. Y'all are that close that you literally can wave off a city right beside you. Hey, all right, yep, that was a Ukrainian city back there. You guys are that close. Well, first of all, I gotta remind people that NATO is the one that give Ukraine the stuff. So they do go into Ukraine to give them these weapons. Remember when Russia said they would hit the convoys in Ukraine? Remember they said they hit the convoys in Ukraine? That's why. NATO does go into Ukraine. They do go in, they give them the weapons, and then they dip out. Some of them probably stay and act like they're foreign fighters, but most of them are most likely getting out of there. Last I heard, there was 10,000 foreign instructors there. But anyways, I wanted to show y'all this real quick. Let me make sure I get on track. The Pentagon can respond to conventional threats with nuclear weapons now. Pentagon. There we go. They are sending advanced parties, and there are 3-letter agents already in the country. Oh yeah, I believe it. And now, don't forget that the Poland, they're trying to find a reason to go in. They're trying to find a reason now. That's why they're marking Russia as a terrorist regime. I already told you guys when the United States mark Russia as a sponsor of terrorism, which if they keep hitting these Ukrainian areas the way they are all throughout the of Ukraine, they're most likely going to do. They're going to mark Russia as and then they're working with Iran. They're already working with Iran. So that's another one that they already marked as a sponsor of terrorism. So Russia working with Iran, both of them terrorizing Ukraine, both of them against the United States and NATO's hegemony. Both of them working with China as well, who is the biggest threat right now. They already got their technology all through the United States. They already got all their stuff set up pretty much. And what they say, more than 41 countries around the world. They say, yep, China's in France, China's in the UK, China's in the United States, China's in Latin America, China's in the Panama Canal. Like, damn, where the hell are they not? Where are they not at? China's in Venezuela. They want to help Cuba. Like, oh, okay. So China, they're making the smart moves, and this is why they were quiet. This is why they were quiet for so long, because they were setting all of this up. They wanted to get more islands in the Indo-Pacific. They wanted to set up on our doorstep. They wanted to get more people into our country. They want to get more spies in here to take all all of our information, all of our information from our military intel on our army, their positions, their bases, all that. They're getting comfortable with our country. Don't forget they come in, arrest their own people, and take them back home. What other country's doing that? Who can literally say, hey, I'm going to come here, become a police, have my own police unit in this area, arrest my citizens, and take them back home? What? Oh, heck no. In New York City at that. That's a interesting place to set up a police station for the Chinese in New York City. Next thing you know, there'll be one set up in Washington D.C. Then people really will freak out. Okay, I'm finally on this. My bad, guys. Took me like an hour and a half just to get to the first one. The Pentagon gives itself permission to use nukes against non-nuclear threats. This is here on your news. Bloomberg is reporting that the Pentagon's new national defense strategy rejected limits on using nuclear weapons, long championed by the arms control advocates in the past by President Joe Biden, citing bargaining threats from Russia and China. The Defense Department said in a document released on Thursday, by the 2030s, the United States will, for the first time in its history, face two major nuclear powers as strategic competitors and potential adversaries. They are literally admitting to you by 2030, we're going to be at war with China and Russia. For the first time in our history, we'll be facing two major nuclear adversaries, our major nuclear powers, which are potential adversaries, and they're already our main competitors. They're letting you know what is coming. But they're not going to come out and say, hey, we're going to do this to Russia. Hey, we're going to do that to China. Without ruling out, the United States will maintain a very high bar for nuclear employment without ruling out the use of the weapons of retaliation to the non-nuclear strategic threat to the homeland, the United States forces abroad or allies. So if conventional weapons hit Japan's infrastructure, we can use nuclear weapons. If North Korea decides to launch a barrage of missiles on South Korea, we can use nuclear weapons to protect them. It says U.S. forces abroad or allies. If Russia decides to launch a bunch of missiles into Poland, we can use our nuclear weapons. Do you not see what I'm trying to say here? So by 2030, we can be at war. So X that out, because you know when they usually put a long time, it's usually a short time. It's usually a short time. I think we're going to be at war by at least, at most December. I don't think we're going to make it past the new year. I think a global conflict is most likely going to break off probably next month. But I'm putting my deadline for December. Next month, I think, though, things are going to start escalating. And why? Because Russia's making moves to build bomb shelters now. Putin has already put out all the threats that he needed to. He already said he's fighting the New World Order today, and they're going to make their own New World Order. Putin, let me show you guys this. I want to make sure I show you guys everything. Already said there's a high chance of a world conflict. I want to make sure I show this on YouTube so you guys see this. And y'all can save this and share this around if you have to. Right here. Putin warns the risk of global conflict is very high. He said that yesterday. This was the same day that he launched the simultaneous nuclear massive drills to simulate attacks on the United States and the UK. Russia recommends increasing security around critical infrastructure as it pushes Ukraine's plans to use a dirty bomb. The chance of a world conflict is very high. This was stated by Russian President Vladimir Putin in a video conference with intelligence chief of the former Soviet republics on Thursday. The potential of conflict around the world and at a regional level remains very high. New risks and challenges in collective security are emerging, mainly as a result of a sharp aggravation of international geopolitical confrontation, said the Kremlin head. So right there, he said the risk of a global conflict is very high. I just said high. He said very high. Nah, man, this is crazy. Start praying, man. Start praying, getting close to your families, man, for real. They're warning you. They are warning you, especially Putin. I ain't going to say the Pentagon sitting here saying, hey, guys, we're going to be at nuclear war. Biden kind of came out and said we're on the verge of Armageddon. So, I thought when it came out of our president's mouth, when it came out of Trump's mouth, when it came out of Putin's mouth and Belarus and Serbia, I thought people were actually going to start listening when all these world leaders started warning you guys, hey, yeah, we're about to go to war. We're on the verge of nuclear war. Why are you guys chilling out and eating chili dogs right now? Stuff is fixing to hit the fan. Oh, man. Oh, yeah, that's the first article in here. See? Russia rehearsed wiping the UK and the United States off the map with nuclear missile drills. And this is from a UK news source right here. This is one of their good ones. I know people don't like Daily Mail or anything. This was LBC leading Britain's conversation. Putin, age of Western domination is over. Deluded Putin calls for a new world order and accuses the UK of stoking tensions. Vladimir Putin has claimed the era of Western dominance is over in a fresh, rambling speech. And the same week, he rehearsed eradicating Britain and the United States in a series of nuclear drills, according to the top military expert, Russian military expert. He again insisted on the dominion of the world by the West, and it will no longer be tolerated. The West will no longer be tolerated. Domination of the world is what the West has decided to stake in this game. It is a dangerous, deadly, and dirty game. He also branded former Prime Minister Liz Truss as crazy for bringing up Russian use of nuclear weapons. The Kremlin flexed its muscles by launching several ballistic and cruise missiles, simulating what it framed as a huge nuclear strike in response to an enemy nuclear strike earlier this week. So what would be the enemy? Who they simulating strikes on? Because the UK and the United States is the only ones that are getting really comfortable with the idea of most likely doing a first strike on Russia. Remember, Russia said they could strike them first. Now, before I move on, I want to give a little throwback to my followers. Let me see if we can find this. Let me see if we can find this. A while ago, I looked up. We were this was back in November, I think, when I was on TikTok, and maybe it was at the beginning of this. No, it was around November, December. I remember. Remember when I put up that article that Russia said that they think that NATO thinks they can win a nuclear war with them? This was last year, so this might not even come up. I might have to put 2021 or something. Or let me see. Let me put in Dark Eagle. Yeah, so this was the thing. The United States was supposed to deliver the Dark Eagle nuclear systems to Germany. It was talked about at the end of last year, and it hasn't been brought up since. Now, this it had a tabloid on it that showed a nuclear weapon hitting Moscow, hitting the heart of Moscow. And this was supposed to be for a setup for a preemptive strike if NATO thought that Russia was about to get aggressive towards them. Obviously, it's not on here. Maybe I got to put in the news source. Allies see risk. Nope. But yeah, they were supposed to set up the Dark Eagle nuclear hypersonics that the United States now have on this territory of Germany. They even said Germany was loading their jets up back then with the United States nuclear weapons. That one, I might have to find that one at a different time. Dang it. Because I don't want to be wasting time on here trying to find that one. But I wanted to make sure I wanted to show that one. The other thing that they're putting out right now is that ties are even worse than the Cuban Missile Crisis. And y'all have to listen to stuff like this. And let me get this spamming out of here. But y'all have to listen to warnings like this because it's showing the tensions that's going on in the world right now. Everyone's on the bandwagon that the United States and Russia are working together, and they're just setting this up to get people to pull money out their banks and all this stuff. Do not go on that little hype train, guys. This is legit. This is real. These guys are getting ready to really fight. They wouldn't be talking about build up since World War One and World War Two. That costs a lot of money that we don't got. Why would you want to build up and do all these exercises if you don't got the money for it? All our money's going to Ukraine and other areas, not really home. Not much is coming here home. All the money is going out to other countries. All your taxpayer money is no longer really helping you, it's helping other countries. Why would you take the time to try to give your gas and oil to Europe? I know they're your ally, but the United States never been this dedicated on a country like this. They've never been this dedicated to strategically releasing oil and gas to Europe. They're not. They've never been this involved in a war in a long time. And I know we was involved in the Syria war. That was a little proxy war. Everybody said that we were in with Russia, but this is even more dangerous than that. This is even more dangerous than that. You're talking about NATO versus Russia. They're literally on the border with each other. Y'all know back in the Cuban Missile Crisis, Russia and the United States were the only two with nuclear weapons pointed at each other. Now we have 9 countries with nuclear weapons that are ready to fire them at any time. They're getting trigger happy now. Oh, Russia's threatening to use nukes? Well, I guess I better see if my nukes still work. I better see if mine still work. Russia's threatening to shoot nukes. Oh, okay. I guess we better deploy more troops on the border. Russia's threatening to shoot nukes. Okay, we gotta make the Baltic Sea into the NATO Sea. Yeah, that'll teach them. Boy. Another front that we got going on, which Norway is accusing this Russian spy of trying to sabotage their gas lines. I think it was today as well. Right here, yeah. Alleged Russian spy, right there, right there. Alleged Russian spy arrested by Norway attended seminar on hybrid attacks. The suspected Russian spy arrested in Norway this week attended a seminar of hybrid threats recently that included a scenario about responding to a pipeline explosion. According to the Norwegian media, a coordinator for the group hosted the event and a photograph from the event. So this must be a photograph. Ah, okay. Alleged Russian spy arrested by Norway. Okay, so this must be the dude. All right, which one look like they're getting arrested? Or is he already in there? Oh. Norwegian security officials this week announced that they had arrested a man claiming to be a Brazilian researcher working in the Arctic issues of the city of Tromsø, who they believe is in fact a Russian illegal. He has been identified in the news reports as Jose Assistis. And I ain't even gonna try to get that last one. Gamaria or something like that. The arrest comes after at least 7 Russians, including the son of a close associate of Vladimir Putin, were detained in recent weeks for flying drones and taking pictures near sensitive areas. Oh, really? Norway and other countries in Europe are rushing to secure critical infrastructure after the sabotage of the Nord Stream natural gas pipelines. And in recent months, there has been multiple drone sightings in Norway's offshore oil and gas fields at the Norwegian airports. The spat of incidents has Norway and Europe on edge. The oil and gas sector is the core of Norway's economy since Russia launched its full invasion of Ukraine. The country has become a critical supplier to Europe. Wow. So you see how serious the matter is. Europe is literally on edge. They don't know if Russia's going to attack them or not. They don't know what Russia's planning up. But it's got to be something if they're sneaking spies in and taking pictures. Now, I wanted to ask this the other day. That do you guys think that the United States is on guard like these guys? Y'all think if somebody was just outside, maybe the Capitol or the White House, just taking pictures, not on the soil, of course, not on their territory, but y'all think if they were just walking around taking pictures, because we got things just out there, we got military bases just out there and everything. Y'all think they would be arrested? I don't think so. I feel like people do it every day here. No, the government is orchestrating this. I believe it. Not at all. I'm just surprised people really say that watching a prepping channel. Yeah, it's too late. I don't think so, Jay. Yeah, I don't think so either. I think they could probably walk around and take pictures and be okay. The United States wouldn't think two times about it, or probably just don't give a crap about it. Most of our surveillance is bull crap anyway. Most of our security is on their phones and chilling. They don't take it serious. And we got a terrorist threat in this country and everything. All right, I wanted to show y'all that on Norway. Oh, man. We're going to go to this one. There's a new one on here. Now, I want to, before I do that, let me see if I can still find the ones on the referendums. There's supposed to be 4 more referendums held, and then there's going to be 3 more after that. I've told my followers on TikTok probably 1,000,000 times. I've knocked it in their head already. But yes, there's going to be annexations of Odessa. Or not annexations, but referendums for Odessa, for Kharkiv, for Dnipro-Donetsk or something like that, I think it's called. And there's one more that I'm missing. There's one more that I'm missing out of that group. Oh, Nikolov. Odessa. Referendum. All right. I like to search this stuff up with you guys too, just so y'all can see that. Yep, there we go. Oh yeah, Odessa, Nikolov, Odessa, Nikolaev, Dnipropetrovsk, and there's supposed to be one more. I think I said it too. If the trucks and trains don't move, we starve. Yeah, probably. Oh yeah, hell yeah. Especially if we run out of energy. That's the thing, guys. They're saying we're about to run out of what is it, diesel? In like 28 days or something like that. And they're like, yeah, that's gonna be huge. I thought you guys said we were cool. No, man, I know what we doing. We about to go into war. Our government's ready. They're getting our economy ready. They're getting our people dumber. And they're trying to, sneak this around. Like, yeah, guys, we can win this war with Russia. We're going to put serious consequences on it. It'll be a catastrophic event. A global catastrophe. But we ain't going to tell our people about it, even though they've never seen nothing like this in their life. Even if you was in World War I or World War II yourself, this is even worse. This is going to be a war on a whole nother level, and everybody's miserable, so the stage is set. Everybody's going through economic chaos. Everybody's having protests. Leaders are getting pissed off because their people are protesting against them, and they want them out. They just want change. They want to go back to normal. They want gas. They want to be able to live their lives, go to work, take care of their families. Now everything's tripled. And the price, you can't afford nothing. You can't afford shit. Well, your average person, I can't speak for the rich, but the average person, But yeah, it's supposed to be another referendum. So that's going to be, once again, closer to NATO border, especially the Odessa one, because that one's right on Romania and dang it, Moldova. Want to show y'all this real quick. Let's see. So let's go to Ukraine. We'll go over here. Hopefully, if it loads fast enough. Zoom out a little bit. Okay, so this is Ukraine. If Russia goes with the referendum and they take these regions right here, which these are the 4 regions in a row. There are 4 regions in a row. I know it's Odessa. I know there's Dnipro. There's Kharkiv. And then there's one more that I keep forgetting. Odessa. Nikolov. That's the last one. So if they take Odessa, there's Moldova. There's Romania. They'll be right on the border with Romania. Right on the border with Romania. Plus, they take Ukraine's shipping right here. You see this? This is 90% of Ukraine's economy right here. This is everything that's keeping Ukraine going. Do you really, in your mind, think that Russia is not going to go for this opportunity? And do you think that NATO is just going to sit there and let this happen? The next front is supposed to be coming from Belarus down in the west. So they'll be taking Lviv to stop this. Y'all see, this is where NATO's giving Ukraine their equipment. They're coming through Romania, Poland. They got all these countries bordering Ukraine right here. They come in, get them these weapons, go back out. Come in, get them these weapons, go back out. Come in, get them the weapons, go back out. Poland coming in, get them no weapons, go back out. So they cut this off. It's a wrap for Ukraine. They're not going to be able to get weapons. They're not going to be able to communicate with NATO. And then if they come down here and they take Odessa and they make that, liberate it and make it a part of Russia, annex it, then they can take control of this area and the shipping and exports, and then NATO would have to step in right at this point. At this point, NATO would have to step in. Don't forget, they're also talking about coming in after Kyiv as well. They're building up here on this part. They're building up over here. I want to give y'all a little glimpse of how dangerous it is right now to show y'all the areas where NATO troops are. I mean, in Russian and Belarus, right here off this border with Poland and Ukraine. They're ready to move from here. So you got to move here. You got to move here. You got them fighting down here. You got them occupied over here. So, and this is going to be wild. Ukraine's about to have a big battle on their hands. And NATO's, when they step in, this war can only probably last an hour. So you got all this right here. You got NATO backed all the way up. Look at all this. You got NATO all the way backed up. All through here. They'll be able to deploy everything straight to Ukraine. They got Ukraine pretty much surrounded. If you come from here, you got Belarus. You got a war with Russia here. You got a war with Russia in here. They will be able to just storm in. They already got their shit in there. So NATO's set up for a fight with Russia. They already got their equipment in there. They know how to use their equipment better than Ukrainians and the foreign fighters. All they got to do is just go into position. Hey, Ukraine, yep, give us that. Yep, that'll help us. Fly their surveillance planes up in there. You know our technology is a little further than Russia's. They might be better on hypersonics. But look, at this point, when NATO steps in, what did Russia say they would do? They would use a nuclear bomb. So then that's what I think that Russia's going to launch. And in my opinion, I think they would probably go for Poland first. That's the closest, furthest, and more safe bet for them if they was to nuke Poland instead of Ukraine. Even if they hit the west of Ukraine, that shit can still fly right back into Russia. If they hit Poland, it would take a while. They can get their people ready. for that shit to go back into their country. But it's far enough that it's not a major threat like Ukraine. Like, you don't want to hit something off your border. That's stupid. That would be stupid. But another thing's got me thinking. Let me get out of this. All right. This was flying all over the news. This was flying all over the news just a week ago. That Putin was on the brink of detonating nuclear weapons over the Black Sea. So, put everything together. NATO's on high alert. They got almost up to probably 150,000 troops under. They're not going to tell you how many troops they got stationed over in those countries. I'm going to let you know. They probably already got the 300,000 over there. And they're just sugaring it down so Russia don't have a bad reaction. But Russia most likely already knows. They already know. But anyways, you got NATO on high alert. You got the Pentagon that just changed their nuclear language, saying that they can use a nuclear weapon for a conventional weapon. We have Putin warning that we're on the verge of World War III. The chances of World War III or a global conflict is very high, and they mean a major regional war. The chances of a war happening in November or December is probably, up there, because Serbia, their president, Vucic, came out and said that, well, let me show y'all that. Let me show y'all that we could be out of conflict in a month or two. Now, this will give me a timeline of when it happened, too. All right, let's see. Vucic. All right, Vucic warns of, it was September 21st. September 21st, there it is. Vucic warns of World War III. The conflict in Ukraine will become global. This is on Albanian News, if you want to know my source on this one. All right. The Serbian President Aleksandar Vucic has declared that very soon the world will be engulfed in a military conflict which, according to him, has not been seen since World War II. In an interview, Serbian radio television from New York, where he is participating in the proceeding of a UN General Assembly, Vucic emphasized that the war in Ukraine is very likely to turn from a local conflict to a global one. I think we are going to go from a special operation to a major war, and the question is where the red line will be. We are going to enter a large-scale global conflict of the likes we haven't seen since World War II in the next 1 or 2 months. In the next 1 or 2 months. He didn't say maybe the next 1 or 2 months. He didn't say, oh, it could possibly happen. No, he said we're going to go into conflict. There's the Ukraine war is very likely to turn from a local conflict to a global one. The head of the Serbian president also underlined the position of Serbia is more serious since the role of the UN in the world and has been weakened by great powers, which, according to him, want everything for themselves and de facto have destroyed the order of the nations united in recent decades. Yeah, the United Nations is nothing no more. You got 2 countries against, freaking 100, and you're good. No, we don't agree with it. Oh, well, I guess we can't punish you. My bad. All right, let's try to vote again. No, we don't agree with it. Well, I guess we better try next week. Like, it's literally a joke. Who's stopping World War III right now? Who's stopping Putin from using a nuke? Who's negotiating and stopping this? Nobody. Nobody, man. Now that we're talking about Vucic, how about we talk about our deep state And what I mean by the deep state, what is George Soros and when they start saying stuff actually happens, right? When George Soros starts saying, "Hey, this is going to happen. This is most likely going to happen." It usually freaking happens. He's another man that pulls the strings. Yeah, y'all remember this? Remember this? Back in May, when George Soros says the Ukraine war would be the beginning of World War III. Like, they put all this on here, man. Billionaire financier George Soros said that Russian President Vladimir Putin's invasion in Ukraine had put the civilization in danger. The only things you can remember, huh, man? He's 91 years old, man. He's on his last legs, and he somehow knows that we're about to be on the World War III in a heartbeat. I just pay attention due to husband and dad job. Let's see. Who else? Who else? Let's see what the Pope's talking about with World War III. He warned all this year. Actually, no. He ain't even talking about World War III. He's just talking about nuclear war, actually. Yeah, there we go. 2 days ago, Pope and other leaders appealed to end the nuclear nightmare. Huh, really? And that's on your ABC News. So they're not hiding it. They're not hiding. I'm just showing y'all all the signs so y'all can put it together yourself. This is going to be reverse. I know that I had some hiccups. I had some mess ups. I'm trying to think this through and make sure I give the right information to you guys. And some things I can barely remember. So that's why I'm putting it on the screen so you can see it yourself. And you're not thinking that I'm making this mess up. The Pope and other leaders appeal for the end to the nuclear nightmare. Pope Francis have joined other religious leaders at Rome's Colosseum to make a plea for peace and the ending of what they call the nuclear nightmare. Wow. As fears intensify that Russia's war against Ukraine may see an atomic weapons used. Thank you, Off Grid. Thank you. Show Off Grid some love, guys. He reports the real news. He gives it to you like it is, just like, he's a real good channel to follow, guys. Follow Off Grid to show him some love. Okay, so yeah, the Pope's calling up for it. We have he said back in October the 2nd, the Pope warns of nuclear war risks, appeals to Putin on Ukraine. Like, they're telling this to you guys' face. Now, personally right now, I think that we're at a high chance. It's a high chance right now that we're in DEFCON 2. And why do I say that? Is the switch up of the moves in such a short time. They were just saying they see no threat. Now they're preparing like they see a threat. I think we're slightly, if we're not at DEFCON 2, then we're on that edge where it's about to turn to 2 once it builds up. Once it builds up. So I would say like 3.5, maybe 3.5 up to. Oh wait, no. Yeah, you're right. 2.5. Yep, you're right. That was a good one. 2.5. So it's like that mode that's about to turn into 2. Now, I do believe that we're about to be in a war, like I said, by November or December. By the end of the year, for sure. By the end of this year, we will most likely be in a world conflict. And I have a high credibility. So when I start believing this, I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. But I think that we are going to be in some big conflict tomorrow. Duo with Off Grid, Jay? Oh, yeah. I'm waiting for that day. I really want to see his thoughts and ask him about this. That would be dope. It would be nice to be able to talk to Off Grid. Plus, I was inspired by them. I watched them for a while now, like a while. I was sharing them on my TikTok back in October and September of last year. I shared them on my TikTok and I shared them on my YouTube. He's an awesome source, man. And he still tells you guys, look for Jesus, go and find your peace with God. Get rid of your sins, man. Just try to ask for forgiveness, pray, get closer to your family. Like it's getting wild, man. And he's got a point. Y'all need to pay attention. Jay, let's set up for next week, bro. Off-grid farming. Okay, bet. Yes, sir. On it. On it. Let's make it happen. Okay, let me see. What else do I want? I'm trying to get it right while it's in my head. All right. This is the other thing that threw me for a loop. So right here, the United States accelerates plan to send upgraded nuclear weapons to Europe as Russia continues to threaten Ukraine. So if y'all see no threat, then why are you rushing right now to send upgraded nuclear weapons to Europe? Now, that one came out 16 hours ago, so you could say that came out today. Well, way earlier, but it's coming out today. The United States will be accelerating its plan to locate upgraded nuclear weapons in European NATO bases as Russia continues to threaten Ukraine. Yeah, and the first thing they're talking about is our B-61 gravity bombs. Oh, yep, there it is. There it is. Right there, citing various sources familiar with the issue, the United States official told NATO allies during a closed-door meeting that an upgraded B-61-12 airdrop gravity bomb, initially scheduled to be transported to Europe next spring, will now arrive in December. What? Why? How do you go from, okay, I'm going to send nuclear weapons in the spring to, oh, wait, we need to hurry up and get those there in December? I think this is Russia's nuclear drills right here to simulate the strikes on the United States and Britain. I cannot hear anything on this. But yeah, I think this was some of the speech today. So what is your phone? 3 European privilege. Oh, okay, they're just showing random scenes. And then this is their submarine test, I think it was. Wow. Yep, this their drill. Yep, and that was their plane drill. Yeah, I put all this on TikTok. I might have showed it on YouTube too. I know some videos I do show on TikTok and YouTube, but some of them is on TikTok. Yeah, so if Putin, y'all are seeing what would happen if Putin decides to launch, a nuclear weapon or whatever. His camp is on it. I think this one's from the ground. Yep. I think the United States has greatly underestimated Russia, and we are in for a big surprise. We trash talk about their military all the time. I think they are going to show us what they. Yep. Yes, sir. I think so too. I think so too. Do y'all remember? I want to make sure I have this right. There was a fleet in the Black Sea. This was reported back, I think, in 2015 or maybe 2016. But there was a U.S. fleet in the Black Sea, and they kept watching Russia over and over. And it was reported that one day they all lost power for a little bit. They just completely lost power on every ship. The little submarine, the little planes that they were trying to fly off, everything was out of power. And then it came back on. It came back on. I think they said that several hours later. And they said they think that Russia used an energy weapon or some kind of EMP. And I'm like, dude. And they didn't even go to war back then. I think that was just, them flexing their muscle, letting them know, hey, if you get too close. Russia shut down their electronics weapons. Yep. I remember that. I was like, oh no, it was crazy. So imagine, what they could do to our country. They could definitely wipe out our I know they can shut down the power here. I know they can. Russia did that in Syria too. They had to tow that shit back. Oh, yep. They had to tow that shit back to port. But yeah, I know that Russia would use a EMP on us. That's going to be their first move, and they're already starting these cable cuts. I don't know if y'all heard about the France cable. Right here. Act of vandalism, major cable cut in France, sparking a power shortage or power outage in Europe, Asia, and the United States. Wait, what? I didn't know that. I didn't know all this. I knew that there was a cable cut for France, and the island lost communications. Whoa. Okay. Well, I'm glad I did look this back up. The damage under the subsea cable was reportedly impacted internet connectivity to Europe, Asia, and the United States, and potentially other parts of the world too. Oh yeah, these guys are definitely already at war. How much you want to bet? It was most likely, it was either a sabotage from it within, or it was Russia sending, probably cutting this or testing it out. A major internet cable in the south of France was reportedly severed on Wednesday night, triggering internet issues across the world. It occurred just hours after a major incident that left residents in the Shetland Isles off the coast of Scotland without connectivity following the damage to the submarine cable. The damage to the cable in France impacted connectivity to Europe, Asia, and the United States, and potentially other parts of the world. Wow. So if y'all had internet issues, maybe that was part of it. But I tell you, that was going to be one of the first things they went after, was either those underwater cables. Major incident declared as communication to the Shetland Isles is cut. All right, let me see something else. I want to show y'all another thing. And I want you to, put your thoughts in it. Put your thoughts, use your head. I'm just showing you guys some stuff that I already know. There we have the 4 explosions right off Finland. The Finland and Russian border. Off the coast, I should say. Yeah. Oh, 5. Oh, 5. Okay, there we go. Finland detects 5 mystery underwater explosions in Russian waters. A series of underwater explosions were detected in Russian waters by Finnish seismologists last Thursday and Friday, with the circumstances behind them are still unclear. And this was yesterday that, they did an update on this. So they still don't know who did it or what happened or what the hell's going on. Why was there explosions underwater? The 5 explosions were detected by the researchers of Institute in Seismology at the University of Helsinki. They determined that the blast took place in the Gulf of Finland near the Russian town of Vyborg, which is located close to the border with Finland and roughly 3-hour drive to the east of the Finnish capital, Helsinki. Wow. Wow. On top of the Nord Stream explosion. So you guys see what's going on. Now, I think that we are already in a, what do they call that? A shadow war. I think we're in a shadow war with Russia. What's a shadow war? Shadow war is a war between two countries that's not being brought up as propaganda. It's it's such a low war. Like, it's such a dead war. Like Israel and Iran, they shoot at each other almost every other day. They shoot at each other almost every other day. They'll shoot a missile. Iran gets pissed off. A couple weeks later, they shoot one at Israel, or they has the Hezbollah or Gaza shoot at Israel or the Palestinians. I think that we're in a shadow war with Russia. That's when you're still shooting at each other. You're doing little sneaky stuff. You're sabotaging pipelines. You're, finding a way to hit the Crimean Bridge that Ukraine has no capability of. Even if they want to say the truck did it, the explosion was so big, it looked like it came from under the bridge. And some frames. In some frames, it looked like it almost came under and up. But who knows? Who knows? But yeah, they're destroying the bridge. Now they're hitting annexed territory with NATO weapons. And I told y'all when Russia annexed these territories, it was going to start to escalate with NATO. Now Russia is at war with NATO. This ain't just a proxy war. This is hitting what Russia is considering their territory. So that's why Russia is saying if even Ukraine detonates that dirty bomb, if they detonate that dirty bomb, that's why they're saying, let me show y'all. I always go on the State Duma's website. That's another thing y'all should check out. The State Duma is the Russian Congress. And they'll usually tell some of their stuff on there. Let me show you this. I'll just type in the State Duma and then look up their... I'll let y'all see for yourself. All right, right here, the State Duma. Y'all can see I visited this site a lot. Honestly, I always see if they're updating or doing anything in their Congress, what they're talking about. Okay. Yep, so that's when they ratified the treaties and all that. I read all that. I make sure I read all of this, what they're doing over there, what they're saying over there. I want to go to the latest one. There was one where they said they were going to declare the United States and Ukraine of nuclear terrorism, sponsors of nuclear terrorism. Right here. Yep, there it is. See, right on the site. The 24th, by providing assistance to Zelensky's regime, the United States and Europe turn into sponsors of nuclear terrorism. The chairman of the State Duma noted that unchanged methods of nuclear terror, Zelensky uses the same methods as Osama bin Laden did. This is not rhetoric. This is not rhetoric. This is not, fear-mongering. I'm not a Russian spy like people like to say. I'm not any of this. I just give you the news, literally. And I show my sources as well. Unless, I'm on here and I don't, have my laptop or something, then it's different if I have to rush the news out. But I always show you guys my sources. Even if I have to go to TikTok and post a bunch of videos to let y'all know that, hey, yeah, this is hitting the fan. This is really happening. This is really going down. This is no game. Within weeks to a month, they could be at war. Within tonight, I mean, we could be at war tonight. We can go to sleep and wake up, to the flashes. I don't want to scare people, but it can happen. And you have to be prepared for any scenario. We're in scary times, very scary times. We could do the checkup on the estimated DEFCON levels as well. Let me see if there's anything that's been raised. Let's see. Oh, Africa's back at 2. They were just at 3, so they went back to 2. Central Command is now at a 3. Cyber Command is now at a 3. Europe is at a 2 because of Ukraine and Russia, and plus the buildup with NATO now. The Indo-Pacific is at a 2 because of North Korea and South Korea shooting shells at each other the other night, the 10 warning shots at each other. South Korea fired them at North Korea to warn them out the waters. North Korea said, no, you're in our waters, and fired, 10 back. The North America is at 3, or the Northern Command, if you want to call it that. The Southern Command, which is South America, is at a 3. Everybody, even our space is at a 3. So the whole world is on alert, guys. And some of these could be higher, honestly. Another thing I want to show today to let you guys know. So let's go to another topic that I need to talk about. I think they got us set up right where they want us. If y'all want my honest opinion, I think they're set up perfectly right now for a counter strike against the United States. Why do I say that? Well, the United States is prepared everywhere but where? The Middle East. The Middle East, Iran pretty much rules the Middle East. They have hella proxies in the Middle East. And the United States is already being accused of stealing oil from Syria, which I want to show y'all something real quick that let me just do that. I will show the news on it. Our bases in Syria has been getting shelled almost either weekly or bi-weekly. Why? And it's always the area. I've been checking that right here. Like 4 days ago, the U.S. base in Syria's El Omar field comes under drone attack. UAVs targets U.S. base in Syria. Now, Deir ez-Zor, what are we doing over there? Syria saying that we're stealing their oil reserves and bringing them back to our country. They steal them out of Syria and bring them back. Iran, Russia, and Turkey all vowed to stop this. They want the United States out of Syria. And Syria has said multiple times that they're not welcome there. They wasn't even welcome to come into their country, even to fight terrorists. They were unwelcomed. But now, I think Iran's going to make the move in the Middle East. I think Russia's going to make the move on NATO. I think China's going to try to stretch the United States to the Indo-Pacific. And I think North Korea is also going to probably, do their little 1-2 with South Korea. I think the reason we're on heightened alert is because we know the threats is about to come. We just don't know how bad it's about to come. Are they bluffing, or are they really about to go to war with us? I think they're really about to go to war with us. I don't think they would tell us either. No, I don't think they would tell us either. Yep, they won't tell you. They won't tell you when we're at DEFCON 2. Off Grid is right, guys. They won't tell you. I would be surprised if they even told us if a nuke got dropped in Ukraine. I would be very surprised. And once we see that, do we have time left? Do we have time to get out? Is it going to straight turn to a nuclear war once NATO steps in to take out the Russian army and fleet in the Black Sea? It could easily start nuclear. Y'all know what I said. Me and Aztec we held a talk. And he said that You know, Jay, if NATO and Russia engage into a full blown nuclear war, the world would end in an hour. Said we would only have an hour. After that, you know, the world's toast. That's not even putting in the factors of hypersonics and stuff for the United States itself. But I wanted to show y'all North Korea now. All right, let's go to North Korea. Now I'm about to show y'all something on this as well. So back on June 7th, the United States warns of a forceful response if North Korea tests a nuclear weapon. The warning comes amid growing concern that Pyongyang is preparing for its first nuclear weapons test since 2017. It's been a couple months. So they put this out, that they will use forceful measures, a forceful response, if North Korea tested a nuclear weapon. Just test, not use it on South Korea or anything. Just a test. Now, let's go a little more. A nuclear test would be a complete violation of the UN Security Council as a resolution, and there will be a swift and forceful response to such a test. Sherman told reporters on Tuesday at that time. Now, the United States came out in a statement with North Korea today as well, that if North Korea attacks with a nuclear weapon or uses a nuclear weapon, that the Kim Jong-un regime would cease to exist. The world's holding breath. Oh, that just came out. The world's holding breath over a possible North Korea nuclear test. The IAEA. North Korea nuclear test would show program moving full steam. All right, so this is what came out today. Oh, shoot. Hold on. Oh, so this just broke. This is broke. Okay, so North Korea is set to conduct a tactical nuclear test anytime the United States and South Korean officials say. Excuse me. North Korea leader Kim Jong-un is preparing to soon carry out an atomic test as it continues to develop tactical nuclear weapon, according to the United States and South Korean officials who laid out concerns about Pyongyang's unprecedented number of ballistic missile tests, as well as its first atomic test in 5 years. A nuclear test was signaled that Kim has managed to grow his weapons program through the Trump and Biden administrations, despite the COVID-19 pandemic. Wow. Now, let me see if it's going to talk about the one I was talking about a little bit ago. Let me see. All right, let's do that. I put in U.S. Kim Jong-un. Let's see if it'll come up. Acute threats from China. Nope. I'm trying to show y'all that the United States said that they would take out Kim Jong-un's regime. Their regime wouldn't exist after a nuclear strike or a nuclear. Oh, damn, I spelled that way wrong. There we go. No, that won't pop up. Darn it. Maybe I should go on DuckDuckGo. Kim Jong-un regime. Oh, Pentagon. Let me see. Pentagon. Maybe it was because I put in the U.S. Let me try Pentagon. There we go. There we go. Yeah, it was Pentagon. My bad. Okay, North Korea nuclear attack would mean the end of the Kim regime, the Pentagon. A nuclear strike by North Korea on American interests would lead to the end of Kim Jong-un's regime, the U.S. military said in a strategy document released on Thursday. Today, that same nuclear doctrine that said that they were going to start deterring Russia and China with nuclear weapons, the same one that said we're about to increase our posture, the same one that's now warning you in North Korea. Don't forget those forceful measures they said they would use if North Korea used that test. Did a tactical nuclear test. And then, let's see, Japan showing you guys everything today, man, because it is getting wild. And I'm just trying to show y'all what I see when I look at all of this, and I know all of this right here. This, and then the next day, this came out yesterday. The United States vows full military defense of allies against North Korea. What is those? The United States will make full use of its military capabilities, including nuclear, conventional, and missile defense to defend its allies Japan and South Korea. The United States Deputy Secretary of State Wendy Sherman said Tuesday. Ain't that the same one that we just said was going to use forceful measures if they test it? Wow, the same one. Dang. Okay, so if we attack North Korea, just to let you guys know, we'll be in a full-blown war with China. If we go to a full-blown war with China, Russia will most likely make their moves on NATO. Like I said, this can go in multiple directions. They could start off with North Korea and South Korea. It could start off with China and Taiwan. It could start off with Russia and NATO. But either way that this starts off, if the United States is occupied, which everybody is scared of right now, was scared of, if the United States is occupied, then you already know what it is at that point. Everybody's going to go on the loose. Everybody that's looking at their neighbors is going to go on the loose. Everybody that wants to take territory or that has territorial disputes or has independence problems with their neighbors are going to go after them. If they got beef like Belarus and Poland, they're going to fight. Belarus and Lithuania, all them. The United States troops can run into Belarus at any point in time, run into Ukraine at any point in time. Seoul says allies agreed unparalleled response needed to a North Korean nuclear test. What's an unparalleled response? Is that the same ones, that forceful response I was talking about just a couple months ago? You notice when it comes to saying what they're going to do, they never do. If it's something soft, they'll be like, yeah, we'll place sanctions on them. We're going to place major sanctions or, something like that. But if it's something on the lines of using military action, they don't say nothing. They just say, oh, it'd be wrong for me to say it, but they didn't know it'd be severe consequences. Catastrophic consequences, monstrous consequences, horrible consequences. Like, what the hell? Oh, man, okay. Thank you. You are both awesome. Thank you for all you do. No, thank you. Thank you for coming to the channels. Thank you for, tuning in. We can't help you unless you guys come here as well, If nobody watch us, then we'll be spreading the message to ourselves. So you guys are just as amazing for coming here and listening to the message and, being respectful and unbiased about it. I respect this. I respect that. All right, what else? Okay, so now I want to show y'all this. The strategy that I was talking about a little earlier. The United States unveils strategy for nuclear threats from China and Russia. Now I can show y'all a little bit about this. The Biden administration unveiled a new defense strategy Thursday that puts the United States military on a Cold War footing with China and Russia. Whoa. Whoa. Hold on. What is this? This is time. Oh, this is a good wow. Well, I told y'all earlier that it literally came out that Biden declared a Cold War on China and Russia. Is this the video?
People's Republic of China as our pacing challenge. As the president's national security,
Hold on.
the PRC is.
Let's go from the beginning.
The key theme of the NDS is the need to sustain and strengthen U.S. deterrence with the People's Republic of China as our pacing challenge. As the president's national security strategy notes, the PRC is the only competitor out there with both the intent to reshape the international order and increasingly the power to do so. At the same time, the NDS bluntly describes Russia as an acute threat. And we chose the word acute carefully. Unlike China, Russia can't systemically challenge the United States over the long term. But Russian aggression does pose an immediate and sharp threat to our interests and values. And Putin's reckless war of choice against Ukraine, the worst threat to European security since the end of World War II, has made that very clear for the whole world. We're seamlessly integrating our deterrence efforts to make a basic truth crystal clear to any potential foe. And that truth is that the cost of aggression against the United States or our allies and partners far outweigh any conceivable gains. So we're aligning the department's operations, activities, and investments across all theaters, across the full spectrum of conflict, and across all domains, especially in space and cyberspace. In space, we're working to field resilient satellite constellations to dissuade any adversary from testing our will and to ensure that we will prevail if they try. In the cyber realm, we're boosting our resilience and enhancing our capabilities to conduct military operations.
Wow.
And meanwhile, our nuclear capabilities remain the ultimate backstop for our strategic deterrence. We will not leave our future vulnerable to the whims of those who do not share our vision for a world that is free, open, prosperous, and secure. And we're confident that we've got the right defense strategy to tackle the challenges ahead, and to defend the American people, and to strengthen our outstanding all-volunteer force, and to safeguard the...
Oh, sorry.
democratic values that are the soul of America.
Wow. That is tough. And did y'all hear what he said? He's not going to accept those who is against our values and our ways of a free world and all that. Sounds like a new world order, doesn't it? Definitely sounds like a new world order. These guys are fighting over who's going to take control of this new world order or who's going to dominate it, and this power is getting to their head. But now they're on a Cold War footing with China and Russia. It just came out like that. Detailing a plan to confront the two nuclear peer adversaries for the first time in history with multi-year buildup of modernized weaponry, enhanced foreign allies, and a top-to-bottom overhaul of the American nuclear arsenal. The 80-page document serves the administration's roadmap for a global security for the decades to come and makes clear that the United States faces two powerful but very different competitors. Wow. That's crazy. So what are y'all telling us? Why are y'all focused on China more than Russia? Russia's making the nuclear threats. China's kind of quiet. You guys think they're going to work together? You guys trying to turn them against each other by saying, hey, this country must be stronger than you? This country, we're more worried about this country. We don't care what you do. Like, I know they care. I know they care. I know they know that Russia could wipe out this country, you know, if they had the right advantage. But we literally have one that's on the verge of pushing that button itself. The reason I'm more worried about Russia is because they have thousands of nuclear weapons. Otherwise, I'd be like, okay, yeah, China. But I know China could fight us in the long term. Russia could wipe us out quick. Forget the long-term war. The realistic point is this could end quick. Would you worry about a war that you had to fight for a long, long time, or do you have to would you worry about a war that can literally destroy the whole planet within a couple hours or within an hour? An hour. We chose the world to carefully. I'm just reading from his words. In recent weeks, the Russian strikes on civilian targets in Ukraine, unfounded claims of a pending dirty bomb detonation has sparked fears that the world is inching ever closer to the brink of nuclear war. The Biden administration has deep concerns about the conflict escalating, Austin said, but it remains committed to continuing to support Ukraine. Vladimir Putin has repeatedly discussed the possible use of nuclear weapons in the 8-month-old war, and this weekend observed a nuclear drills involving Russian submarines and ballistic launches inside Russia. Austin shot down speculation that war games were for a real nuclear attack, saying that the United States intelligence have not observed any indication that such preparations were taking place. So how come y'all ain't, but the UK is literally over there blowing up their news sources with, hey, these attacks are simulating attacks on the UK and the United States. Oh, wait, I forgot. The United States is a little more secretive than the UK. It'll be the first time that a nuclear weapon has been used in over 70 years. So that certainly has a potential of changing things. Well, I'm kind of used to hearing that now. I mean, our division hasn't been deployed in, 80 years or something like that? Since World War II? Our 101st Airborne Division, they hasn't been deployed in a long time. Now we haven't seen the use of a nuclear weapon in 80 years. Now we about to have that chance. We never seen a nuclear war, period. We have never seen a nuclear war. Keep that in your mind. That's history right there. Is that about to be another thing in our history books, if we even have a history book after that? I feel like we should have did things like they did back in the day and carved things into the stones if we had something to pass on. Let the people of the future, if anybody did survive, let them know what happened. Jay, I've heard people saying the 101st has been deployed since before the war. Russia invaded Ukraine. No, that's not true. They got deployed after the invasion of Ukraine. They got deployed after. I remember when I showed y'all the article of well, not the article, the video of them literally talking about, hey, Camp Date or Fort Campbell is sending out their military units. This was like in the mid of the year, I think around June or May. But maybe it was more troops. I don't know. From what I hear, is 4,700 of them over there, right? Let me make sure. I got that right. Actually, we could just see when they got there. Let me see when they got deployed. That'd be even better. 2-1, guys. 2-1. Yep, June 29th is when they arrived. 101st Airborne Division arrives in Europe to support NATO allies. This was June 29th, 2022, and all approximately 4,700 soldiers come from the 101st Airborne Division. And when this first came out, everybody was freaking out. I remember that. They were like, oh no, they're sitting there. They're going to fight. It's about to go down. But now we're actually there. Yep, this is our Army website. This is the Army website. So y'all can't say, oh, this is fake news. This is propaganda. It's literally on our Army's website. That's crazy. Okay, let's move on. Yeah, it's end times for sure. We definitely got the rumors of war. We're due for another cutting of the half. I don't know if y'all knew, back in 2017, there was an eclipse that cut the United States in half. I think this way first. I think it was this way first. And I think in a year or two, it's supposed to come back and put an X on the United States. So cross this way first, and it's supposed to come this way. Another eclipse. It's supposed to cross the United States off the map. Don't know what that means, but that's crazy that it's even happening like that. I guess X marks the spot, huh? All right, let me see if there's any breaking news. I know I've been on here for a while, and I said I was going to make this shorter. I just love talking to you guys. Plus, we had Off-Grid and everybody in here, man. I had to talk. If I haven't talked about it already, India and the United States will hold drills near the border with China on November 15th, as y'all can see right here. And this is from an Indian source, I believe. Yeah, Indian source. So, yeah. All right. Don't let Russia win. NATO chief warns the United States. Wait, what? What? What does that mean? Don't let Russia win. NATO chief warns. With Ukraine skeptical Republicans posed for election gains, Jens Stoltenberg tells Politico that a Russian victory would send a message to authoritarian leaders, not only Putin, but also China. What's up, Amanda? NATO Secretary General has a message for U.S. Republicans making the election promises to slash Ukraine's support that will only empower China. Stoltenberg pushed his point in an expansive interview with Politico this week, in which the military alliance's chief made the case for a long-term American presence in Europe and a widespread boost in defense spending. Now, another move for Russia and China to hack the elections, because this is kind of what they want. They want America to be able to back off and not send so many weapons and shit. And also, they'll be able to make better moves to face us. I really don't think we're going to make it past the midterms, guys. I mean, you know what I mean. I ain't talking about November 8th. I'm talking about like the actual, I don't think we're going to even see the Republicans take their seats if they win. I don't even know if we're going to know who won. I don't know. Like, they could start this war at any time. Now, both ways, guys. I got two ways to explain this. Number one, Russia and China can hack the elections, and the Republicans win whatever. The United States declare war on China before this happens, saying that they was messing with our affairs, and we fight. Number two, the Democrats is looking at this as if the Republicans take over, they will slash the the defense to Ukraine. Ukraine would be screwed. Russia would definitely win. So we need to start this war before they take their seat, because now they know that this would be against everything that they believe in right now, especially if they take the House and Senate. Wake up, guys. I'm only gonna be able to say this a couple more times, man, before this real thing really breaks off, man. It's crazy. And then I thought about something the other day. Would they deploy Brittany Griner? Her case was kind of considered big, right? I mean, she has to serve 9 years in the Russian prison. Would they deploy her to the front lines after they get her in there in the full on the other part, the bad part of the prison? Something to think about. And how would the United States react to that? How would our sports and everybody here, would they start taking this seriously? Or are they going to keep us in this brainwashed loop, the same cycle that we've been seeing for years? Oh, man. Wake up, guys. Wake up. I love you guys. Thank you for coming through, man. I'm so glad I got to talk to you guys tonight. I'm in a really good mood. It's actually really made my night. I might make a couple more videos. You know, I got to do my research on stuff. Remember our golden rule: love, unity, and peace for life. But on top of that is preparedness and awareness. Don't be scared. Be aware. Be prepared. Hopefully, we do make it through this, but I have a feeling that we're not. I hope you guys have a great night, and peace.